Health insurance open enrollment is coming up this fall for millions of Americans, as we know. And as we look ahead to the year 2024, now is the time to assess your health care coverage options to best equip yourself to select a plan that will work best for you and your budget. Joining us this morning to provide us some tips on how to pick a health plan is CEO Brett Edelson with UnitedHealthcare. Good morning.
Good morning. It's so nice to see you.
Yes, you as well. Thank you so much for joining us. You know, a lot of information that is important and pretty critical right now. So tell us about open enrollment.
Wow, it's amazing because us at UnitedHealthcare, we plan all year for open enrollment, so it's pretty exciting to see it all kind of come to fruition. But the first thing actually that we always have to think about is there's so many different ways that people get covered through health insurance. So there's many people that got covered through their employers, and typically for employers that open enrollment does happen October, November, December. There are others, though, that receive their coverage through Medicare. Medicare is a very defined period of open enrollment. That's about October 15th to December 7th. And then there's others still that get covered through the health marketplaces as well as through Medicaid, and those also have different time frames. So the first thing actually I want to share, just make sure that you know where your coverage is coming from and make sure that you know the dates.
Yeah, I mean, pretty important and pretty critical. So when can people kind of purchase their own health insurance, maybe if they're not going through their work?
So if they're not going through their work and they're not eligible for Medicare, that's where folks typically get through the marketplace. Within North Dakota, I think actually about 10% of folks get their coverage that way. And the cool part about that is that you can pick exactly the plan that's right for you and your family if you have a couple of people that you are covering as well.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I was just going to say, let's get into how to best pick that plan. I know for some people it can seem very overwhelming with a lot of the options that are kind of laid out in front of you. And maybe if you're new and you're not sure what kind of coverage you need, what are some of the tips that you are providing this morning?
One of the first things I would look at is your doctor and making sure that your doctor's going to be in the network of the potential plan you're going to pick. Once you kind of have that covered, that's kind of like the basic piece. Then look at some of the unique plan features. There are some of the health plans that offer telehealth, some offer gym memberships, some depending upon the plan. In particular for Medicare plans, you can look at some specialty coverage. So do they cover vision benefits, hearing? There's also some that will cover dental. So knowing kind of the scope of everything that's covered, that makes a huge difference.
So are there ways to maybe try to save money for our personal choices and our personal plans? Or are there things that we could be doing or that we need to be paying more attention to?
Yeah, there definitely are. And I think that's part of the process too, is, there's so many options, in particular, thinking about those individual plans as well as Medicare to save money. So, typically there's different coverage levels that involve different deductible, which is the amount that you have to pay personally before your health insurance kicks in. And then others have different amounts for copays. So really being a smart consumer and understanding what that may look like for an individual that maybe doesn't plan to use healthcare that much, that may be a much different decision than somebody who's managing an ongoing condition like diabetes. Then you're going to probably look at your plan in a different way.
So overall, why is it so important to try to get prepared right now ahead of time?
Well, because it happens so fast. So depending upon the type of coverage you have, you may only have a week or two to make those decisions. So, now is kind of the right time in advance of open enrollment and figuring out over the past year, how did you use your health plan? And then maybe how that may change in the coming year. Sometimes what happens is an individual may be covered through a spouse one year, but maybe their plan benefits are different in their employer program in the coming year. So really understanding those different things going into open enrollment is a huge help and something that to encourage anyone to do in advance of those open enrollment periods starting.
So where can folks go for any and all information relating to healthcare enrollment?
Oh, there's so many different resources, and that's one thing that we're so fortunate about in our country. So for those who are interested in those individual plans, the marketplace, which is healthcare.gov, is a great way of getting some additional information. For those who are more focused on Medicare, Medicare.gov also has some information, and I would definitely always start with those sites because they have the broadest amount of information available across all plans. And then I also encourage folks, depending upon the type of plan they have, sometimes you want to seek out some advice. So having an agent or a broker can really help as well for some of those individual plans. Getting back to those who are covered through employer insurance, your human resources departments, or if there is just a person who kind of looks over that stuff, I would always seek out the counsel from that individual because they're going to have some additional tips as well.
Wow, thank you so much for providing all of this information this morning. Again, CEO of UnitedHealthcare, Mr. Brett Edelson. Thank you.
Thank you for the time. Have a wonderful day.
Of course. Yep. Good luck. We're off to the races now with our open enrollment.
Take care.
All right, everybody at home, stick around. We have plenty more coming up right here on North Dakota Today.